Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Before Coffee. It's our Wacky and Weird episode. We are covering all the wacky and weird news we've been able to find today and this week. I know there's some stuff on here that we've already been insinuating we're going to talk about in the previous Tuesday and Monday, and we're finally here to talk about it.
We never run out of
planets. Sorry?
So we never run out of weirdness. It seems to find us.
Yeah. The world is a fascinating place for sure. This is Before Coffee, the father and daughter comprehensive news of Planet Earth podcast, where we look up our stories 10 to 15 minutes before we started. We've just got caffeine in, and we're learning to read live on stream. So let's learn to read our headlines for today's wacky news. Today on Wacky and Weird Wednesday, British men collect world relay golds 20 years late. And bus driver arrested after 3 seriously injured in bridge crash that tore off roof in Manchester.
This is Roger from the United States. Good morning. And we have news from outer space as Uranus is hotter and leakier than we realized. And the Philippines has installed the world's largest claw machine in an arcade.
Coming out of North Korea, it bans its foreign tourists to newly opened beach resort just a week after opening.
Delta pilot arrested just before takeoff for failing a breathalyzer. And the Indian police arrest a suspected scammer running a fake embassy near New Delhi.
In my culture news, Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath frontman and icon of British heavy metal, dies aged 76.
And it's National Lemon Day, so if life gives you lemons, you know what to do. Throw them out.
And what?
It's July 23rd, 2025 on Before Coffee.
That is definitely not the phrase you're supposed to say.
It's called changing a metaphor. Ruining a metaphor. We didn't have that on the wheel. Life gave me apples. It didn't give me lemons.
Yeah.
It gave me apples. But I made Apple-Aid, and it was terrible. So I went and bought some lemons.
Apples are not as sour, so they don't need all that sugar. You can probably just make. Yeah, that wouldn't have worked. That would not have worked.
Apple-Aid.
Too sweet. Yeah. What is aid? Why is it called lemonade? What does ADE come from? What's the origin of that?
No, I'm just going to have ancient aliens.
Ancient aliens, it's their fault. Yeah, 100%.
Anything not plain was ancient aliens or God. God or ancient alien.
God invented lemonade.
I'm a simple man. I have no intention of ever getting. Yeah, I'm a simple man. I have no intention of ever getting an education. So I'm going to have things settled by simple answers, and I can just move on with my day. Sticking forks in my eye. But whatever the hell, whatever stupid people do, they're not trying to ruin the country.
Okay. Our first segue is associate. So you're going to have to associate this story or these two stories with something else. Speaking of which,
okay,
my first story is about 28-year late gold medals for some British men. This is from Mitch Phillips on Reuters. If I can find the article. Yes, here it is. Coming out of London on July 19th, Britain's men's 4x400 meter relay team were presented with their gold medals from the 1997 World Championship at London's Diamonds League meeting on Saturday, the 19th, and having elevated from silver after the belated disqualification of the U.S. team. The U.S. were stripped of the title won in Athens when Antonio Pettigrew confessed in 2008 to doping between 1997 and 2003. The U.S. also lost their 2000 Olympic title. A laborious process of investigation, appeal, and reallocation followed, culminating in Saturday's presentation by World Athletics President Seb Coe to Roger Black, Ewan Thomas, Jamie Balch, Mark Richardson, and Mark Halton, who ran in the heats. The former athletes were giving a rousing welcome by the 60,000 sellout crowd, while a lot of people were like, finally! We get our gold medal that was owed to us. They stood for a very belated national anthem. Okay, we get it. Everything is belated. They keep on saying it. It was 28 years ago, by the way. We're proud to be able to give these athletes their moment in front of a home crowd. It's a chance to recognize not just their talent, but the values they stood for. This medal means even more because of how long they've waited for it, said Cherry Alexander, UK Athletics strategic lead for major events. Pettigrew was found dead at the age of 42 in 2010 in his locked car in the United States, with an autopsy report saying he died by suicide after an overdose. So he overdosed in his car and then died, I guess? Earlier on the 19th, the British government confirmed its support for bids to host the 29 World Athletics Championships, last held in London in 2017, in a regularly sold-out Olympic stadium. Bringing the World Athletics Championship to the UK would be a moment of great national pride, building on our global reputation for hosting memorable sporting events that showcase the very best of talent, Prime Minister Keir Starmer said in a statement. Hosting these championships would not only unlock opportunities for UK athletes, but it would inspire the next generation to get involved and pursue their ambitions. The UK will also bid for the 29 World Para-Athletics Championships with a plan to hold events outside London. This was reported by Mitch Phillips and editing by Andrew Cawthorne. So congratulations to the very belated gold medal ceremony. It took them a very long time to decide, this guy just admitted he did drugs during the Olympics. But I think the problem I have with this is they've disqualified the entire team because one guy was doping, which is pretty fucked up for the rest of the team, honestly. If the rest of the team wasn't doping and he just ruined their scores,
He admitted to doping, right?
Yeah.
He admitted to doping, but he didn't fail a test, which to me is like, okay, circumstantial evidence is good enough for us. Right?
We're kicking you out. No more I mean, the U.S. has plenty of medals, so does London, to be fair, so it's whatever, honestly. It's a trophy for people to feel like they did something. So.
We have this strange thing in this country, I don't know if it's worldwide, where we do this thing where somebody's a great athlete, we celebrate them for, 35 seconds, and then half of the people who are just happy for that person start finding things wrong with them.
Yeah.
To try to tear them back down to where they were, right? It's some kind of human condition that can handle the fact that somebody's going to continue to be the rest of their lives, no matter how many times you try to tear them down, right? And they just keep going at it. I call it, it's been around forever, but I guess the best example is LeBron James, right? Mm-hmm. LeBron James can be a great player in his own right, any comparisons to anybody else. And he doesn't need a comparison. He never asked for a comparison, but immediately, he's not as good as Michael Jordan. Well, they played two different positions at two different times.
Yeah.
But that's the whole point of all these fans for fanatic. In any sport, you just have people that they want something that they can't even describe what it is, right? Nothing will make them happy. Nothing. Their team wins a championship, they want the coach fired. Oh, he won in spite of the coach. Those people, they're terrible. You can't please them, is what I'm saying. I'm associating
this
whole situation with, we got to fine people, we got to punish people, blah, 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 blah. Somebody won unfairly. Well, no shit, somebody won unfairly. You know what they did? They worked harder. Or the taller, or whatever. Shit, fucking don't go join the sport if you ain't interested.
They got lucky. Some people just get lucky, Because you've seen a lot of relay races, right? I mean, famously, the Dutch females relay race, Femke, she fell on her face at the last lap, right at the end, at the finishing thing, and then she came back and said, "I'll make up for it next relay," and then she made up for it and she won against. She was actually in the back, and then she made it all the way to the front and won. And that's just luck. That's just bad luck. Your toe trips, you hit a rock, you fall over. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's what attracts people to the Olympics, by the way. Anyway, not necessarily all the winners. It's the people that just keep going. Even the winners don't get that much for winning. A gold medal is not made of gold. It's 6 grams of gold plating on it.
Yeah,
it's made of silver. It's valuable. It's worth around $1,000 and melt value.
You want to melt it down, yeah.
But it's not made of gold. The silver metal is worth just about the same as the gold medal, minus the gold plating on it, right? So they're not, a bronze medal ain't worth really jack shit. But but again, this is for prestige. It's for your own, sense of accomplishment. The people want to make it into oh my God, somebody had an unfair advantage. Ooh, oh no, not that.
Anyways, let's go to my next story before we talk about this for 5 more minutes.
We're just going to make sure everybody has bags of sand in their pockets so everybody's running equally, right? It won't even be a competition. Look, everybody tied. Isn't that great? Everybody tied. The same people that decry.
Oh my God. I'm trying to move on to the next story. Right? We got your point.
Every event is fair. Right? Hey,
we got your point. I think we do it. So everyone understand this point. My next story is a shorter one, and it's about this event that happened yesterday. I saw it on scrolling through my social media, and I want to talk about it. And it's a bus driver who drove under a very low bridge, like super low bridge. There's signs probably everywhere saying low bridge approaching. Drove straight through it full speed. Carved, and this was a double-decker bus, so carved the top of the bus off, and there were people sitting on the top. So this is from Eleanor Barlow on The Independent. The driver of a double-decker bus that crashed into a bridge in Manchester seriously injured 3 people and has been arrested, police have said. A 19-year-old woman, 2 men, and one in his 20s and another in his 40s, remain in the hospital after the crash, which tore off the top level of the bus on... this was on Monday, but I saw the news on Tuesday, so... On the 21st of July, a spokesperson for Greater Manchester Police said. Spokesman said 1 passenger was ejected from the top deck of the vehicle as the roof was torn off. The 3 people sustained serious injuries but all were said to be in stable condition. 17 other casualties were treated at the scene for injuries, the force said. The police said the bus driver, a man in his 50s, was arrested on suspicion of causing serious injury by careless driving and has since been bailed pending further investigation. Emergency services were called at about 3 p.m. on the 21st of July to report the bus had collided with the Bridgewater Canal Aqueduct on Barton Lane in Essex. So what have we learned here? Do not go there if you have a tall anything. Avoid Barton Lane in Essex at all points. Major incident was declared by the Northwest Ambulance Service, and 10 emergency ambulances, advanced paramedics, and hazard area response team along with Northwest Air Ambulance were dispatched. Why the hazard area response team? Because there's a bunch of bus parts on the road now. Like a ton of bus parts. Like the whole, like I'm saying, like a can, peeled off like a can. Just on the road. Yeah. Police believe the bus had come off its expected route and height restriction warnings, including hanging chains and signage, had not been complied before the crash. As in, they saw the signs and ignored them. I can't read. What does that say? Not my problem. Hey, that sure looks like a very low bridge. The Force's Serious Collisions Investigation Unit has appealed for anyone who witnessed the incident or has footage, including from a dash cam, mobile phone, or doorbell, to come forward. Anyone who was in Essex in Manchester on the 21st at 3 p.m. or around 3 p.m. and have a dashboard, contact the police at 0161-856-4741, or you can also do the quoting log number 2226. I guess that's what they mean. So I'm here about 226. Log 226. Oh, you have some footage about the bus jamming into a bridge.
Exactly. No heads were lost.
No, just somebody. Like I said, somebody was ejected. Somebody was pulled out of the bus and fell on his fell on his ass onto the pavement. But nobody lost a limb. Nobody lost their head. Nothing serious happened other than the seriousness of being ejected out of a bus when you're sitting there looking at your phone and you're like, landing on the back of your head probably. But they're all in stable condition, so nobody should die. So nobody should die from this unless something really crazy happens.
And of course, the bus driver said, What? Don't you like the free air conditioning? What's wrong with you?
Is that your Manchester accent or just your general Midlands accent?
It is. I know. That's exactly how they sound in Manchester.
Whatever Oasis sounds like. That's what they sound like, yeah.
Right.
Manchester.
Yeah.
We were supposed to do a joke, but I guess you told a joke. It's fine.
Oh, you said associate.
Yeah.
I don't believe anybody feels the way I do about bus rides now. There's your Oasis.
So bad. It's we can joke about it because nobody died. Okay, if somebody died, it would be God.
Right.
Yeah, as of yet, no one's died. Maybe the guy in his 40s could die. He broke his.
Well, the guy in the 40s is gonna get a nice settlement from the bus company. Hey, guess what? You'll be paying for orthopedic chairs for the rest of his life.
Is it a good deal? I don't know, but it's a deal. Okay, let's roll our next segue for your story. Right, You've got 2 stories for me.
Shelby, I have you a video too, since it's related to the bus tragedy. Nobody's killed in any of these videos either. All right, so we're going to talk about. All right, reminds you of a song. And it's getting hot. Hot up there in Uranus. This is from Metro.co.uk. Josh Milton, and the headline says, Uranus is hotter and leakier than we realized. Right? Right? The big blue planet way out there in the fringes.
Get your adult diapers on.
You need a big old... Do you know... Never mind. There's a depends joke in there somewhere. It's getting hot and gassy on Uranus. A deep, long probe, oh boy, a long probe of the bluish gas giant has revealed that it leaks far more than it receives from the sun.
You're telling me they put a long probe up Uranus.
Okay, we're not getting through this story. The seventh planet of the solar system has an average temperature of just minus 195 degrees centigrade. Unsurprising, given it's 1.8 billion miles from the sun. That's a long way. How far is Uranus from the sun? Well, now you know. But scientists now say that Uranus is actually warmed up from the inside. Well, I knew that. According to the study published by Geophysical Research Letters, lead researcher Dr. Wang of the University of Houston said, from a scientific perspective, it helps us better understand Uranus and other giant planets. Uranus, so I'll stop pronouncing it that way. Uranus is a giant ice giant. It's called because of its freezing conditions in which formed 4 billion years ago, when gravity squeezed gas and dust together, not far from the sun, before drifting outwards. It's the 7th planet from the sun. Most of what we understand about Uranus comes from a brief flyby that NASA's Voyager 2 spacecraft did in 1986 when it snapped photos of the planet as a featureless light blue blob. Right. It's probably, had a couple of different wives since then, right?
We've had Voyager 2 better changes in technology since then, right? We've been able to do way more.
Oh, yeah. In 1986, they said, we need better probes for Uranus. Voyager 2 picked up no internal heat from Uranus, but being about the temperature scientists would expect if it were only heated by the sun. Yet it whizzed by Jupiter, Saturn, and Neptune. When it whizzed by Jupiter, Saturn, and Neptune, the craft found they had all radiated 100% more energy into space than they received from the sun. Yeah, so maybe, they do generate heat from the inside. This made Uranus something of a planetary pariah, with scientists having no clue why the ice giant's internal temperature was so low. But when Dr. Wang and her team looked into the archive of data about Uranus, they found it emits 12.5% more heat than it receives from the sun. This means, Dr. Wang said, the slowly is still slowly losing leftover heat from its early history. A key piece of the puzzle to help us understand its origins and how it changed over time. Dr. Wang said the Voyager 2 probe may have caught Uranus at a strange time, such as a surge in solar weather, or how it was at solstice.
Maybe she's just a bit bloated, you know?
Yeah. Maybe she's pining for the fjords. The planet's energy levels also seem to be changed with its 20-year-long season, with these changes making Uranus orbit and spin wobbly. So while Uranus probably has internal planets, it's still something of a weird cousin to them, with researchers suggesting it might have interior structure or evolutionary history. Jupiter and Saturn are, speaking, toasty because of gravitational compression. Heat is released as gravity squashes them. Why Neptune is warmer than it should be is still something of a mystery, however. Wider than Earth is a 10-penny British currency. Probably really small. If Earth were the size of a 10-penny coin, Uranus would be a ball. One day on Uranus takes about 17 hours, while the year is 84 Earth years. So it takes 84 years to go around the sun. Uranus has two sets of just about visible rings. That's a scientific term, by the way, just about. It's a precise measurement, by the way. It's just about lunchtime. All right, see you later. Wait. Anyway, that's it. 9 inner loops and 2 dusty outer ones with reddish tint. The planet's core is about the size of Mercury and is the temperature is 4,982 degrees centigrade, which is really hot. The gas giant is, well, gassy, with a atmosphere made of hydrogen, helium, methane, which gives it a blue color. Uranus is leaking methane. Nothing unusual about that. It's pretty windy on Uranus, with speeds reaching up to 560 miles per hour. All right, that's it. We're gonna end the Uranus story. We say it has the astronomers say it. Remind you of a song?
And it reminds me of a song that is, to continue to change the subject, about Pluto, actually, or as now known, planet 134340, because it's no longer a planet, it's just a demi-moon or whatever the hell. And it's a song by BTS, and my favorite verse goes like this. There's no name allowed for me. I too used to be your star. It must feel nice to be the light. All I did was to receive you. What meaning is left of the fallen planet's remaining life? I'll receive it till I die. Your stifling stare, I still orbit you, and nothing's changed. If love has no name, everything has changed. Could it be really that you found Eris? Tell me, how am I not good as that moon? Us is the plural form of you. Maybe I wasn't there from the start. It's better in Korean. That's the English translation. It's all about music, Pluto, right? getting kicked out of the planets, right? And then they're like, Eris is bigger than Pluto. Eris should be a planet, you know? So
hey, there's we haven't found yet in our solar. There's bodies that we found in our solar system. They're probably Pluto. We just haven't.
Well, last week we did the story about. Or I did the story about, was it last week? We did a story about finding a planet through its heat signature instead of through its visual, like being actually to spot it, because we can't see it, but it's there. The gravity
it causes.
Yeah.
The gravity it causes. Yeah. That's how we find most planets, by the way. We don't actually see them. Hey, there's a star, but there's something pulling on it from this side. It only pulls on it from this time of day. Right, in these conditions, it's got to be a planet. That's kind of the thing they do.
Yeah.
I'm oversimplifying because I'm not
an astrophysicist.
That's all I can do. I can't even really oversimplify it because I'm not smart enough. And on to the next story. This is a shorter story from UPI.com. Ben Hooper. The Philippine arcade installs the world's largest claw machine. You know, those things you put a quarter in or $1 or whatever they are. Now, when you try to grab a plush toy that's worth 75 cents. An arcade in the Philippines are in the Guinness Book. the Guinness World Record installing the world's largest claw machine, which encompasses an area of 1,761 cubic feet. The Playfair Arcade at the Tops Landmark in Cebu City unveiled a claw king, a massive claw machine. It was officially measured by a construction firm for Guinness World Records consideration. Claw King was measured at 17.16 feet long, 8.12 feet wide, and 12.73 feet tall. So it's about as tall as your house. Like a one-story house,
meters,
a little
please?
bit taller than that. Meters?
3 feet in a meter-ish.
12 feet. 12 feet tall.
Oh, yes, sir.
Which is 4 yards, so it's around 4 meters.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's about 4
That's pretty tall.
The measurements were another. Yeah, it's as tall as like most houses. Most one-story houses are taller. The record from Santa Claw, a defunct claw machine installed in Florida. Well, it's defunct. That can't be the record anymore. That measured 16.7 feet long. Yeah, somebody funked it all over it. And 7.87 wide and only 11.1 feet tall. You just weren't trying that day, were you, Florida? Thrilled to announce the Playfair has officially earned a world records of the world's largest claw machine, the arcade said in the social media. What an epic achievement. We're happily to share with Cebu, and we are beyond proud to bring this record home to Irish Beer Company for recognizing us. So there's your
Irish Beer Company.
There's your. That's what Guinness is. I mean, anyway, that's there's your little. There's your fun little. Not too serious and so claw. It doesn't say what it's actually picking up, but I would like to know, the capacity, the load capacity of one of those claws. Can it pick up a car? Right? Can it pick up, a tank, perhaps? I don't know what you're going for, but I was hoping for a better story. Does it remind you of a song, or is it just wasted?
There is a song by 21 Pilots called Holding On to You, and that's what this claw machine is doing. It's holding on specifically to your body because it's big enough probably to pick up a human being.
Right. Almost like when you go to Vegas, like they had the Wheel of Fortunes and
yeah,
a little tiny Wheel of Fortune, spin the wheel, and it's got numbers on it. But when you go to like these big casinos in Vegas, got this giant Wheel of Fortune, and it costs $10. You got to put a $10 bill in there because it's a giant machine. So I wonder if the giant machine costs more just because it's right.
That's a ripoff.
Anyway,
it does the same thing.
Yeah, it's like, it's $10 to get nothing instead of 25 cents. Oh boy, I feel so honored.
I mean, I did learn this recently that in Japan they have a ton of arcade machines in like Tokyo, and supposedly if you pay enough money through a claw machine, that it's like the price of the item you're trying to get, they just give it to you. You can go to the operator and be like, "I've spent $10 on this machine," and they're like, "Oh, that plushie's worth $5. You can have it. Yeah, let me just take it out for you. You've already spent the money for it. We've already made our money." So that's really nice of them, actually.
Yeah, that would be. That would
you
be
ever find yourself in Tokyo and you're at the claw machines, just ask the operators, "Hey, can I have this? I've already spent $10 on it."
Yeah, they did spend. You spent $100 on a $7 toy, and now you're going. Can I just get it?
Yeah, thank you.
Of course, I guess the excitement is in the accomplishment. This is the rush of adrenaline you get from.
It's gambling in a way. It's a luck, chance-based game.
Can't be duplicated. Yeah,
for sure.
If you're at the claw machine, for any more than 10 minutes, you're probably going to develop a gambling problem later in life. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Anyway, there's your stories. I guess you spin the wheel for you.
I'm rolling the wheel.
Oh, this day in history.
It's
I'm gonna say
mixed metaphor time.
Oh.
Okay. Did you hear me? Mixed metaphor?
I hear you.
Okay.
Metaphors, mixer.
Mixed them up. My next story is coming out of North Korea. That's right. We've got some North Korean news. This is from Hyung Jin Kim on AP News. coming out of Seoul, because obviously he's not reporting from North Korea, sorry. That would be crazy. But, well, it wouldn't be crazy, but it would be unlikely. North Korea is banning the entry of foreign tourists to a recently opened mega beach resort, a move that dims prospects for the complex that leader Kim Jong-un hailed is one of the greatest successes this year. DPR Korea Tour, a website run by North Korea's tourism authorities, said in a notice Friday that the eastern coastal Wonsan Kalma tourist complex is temporarily not receiving foreign tourists. It gave no further details, including why a ban was established and how long it would last. North Korea says the complex can accommodate nearly 20,000 guests. Resort opened to domestic tourists on July 1st before receiving a small group of Russian tourists last week. Observers expected North Korea to open the resort to Chinese tourists while largely blocking other international tourists. Instead, they did the opposite. They completely banned everyone. The announcement came after Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov flew to the complex to meet Kim and Foreign Minister Cho Son-hui for talks last weekend. North Korea and Russia have sharply expanded military and other cooperation in recent years, with North Korea supplying weapons and troops to back Russia's war against Ukraine. During a meeting with Cho, Lavrov promised to take steps to support Russian travel to the zone. Yeah, I get that sweet Russian tourist money. I am sure that the Russian tourists will be increasingly eager to come here, he said. But experts say the North Korea likely decided to halt foreign traveler to the zone because of a newspaper article by a Russian reporter who traveled with Lavrov that implied North Koreans at the zone appeared to be mobilized by authorities and not real tourists. Okay, that is the classic thing people always say against North Korea. Now, I don't like the North Korean government either. I don't like any sort of fascist, I'm God's son or whatever reason, and monarchy, dictatorship, whatever it is, totalitarian regime. But the people there are just trying to live, okay? And I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube where it's like, you know, American goes to North Korea for the first time. These are all actors. These aren't real people. They're all actors. You know, that's what the comments will say. Even the people in the video will say, none of these people are real. Well, they're all real. They're definitely real people. Just because they're paid to be there doesn't change the fact that, you know, that's probably the best money they're going to make, this year. Being paid actors at your, you know, whatever, royal visit to North Korea's palace or whatever. Look at all these people in their clothes and dancing, and they look so happy. They're not real. Whatever. Neither is Disneyland, guys. Neither is Disneyland.
Lowest common denominator. Lowest common denominator gets an opinion again.
Yeah.
There you go.
But the point is, I just, even if they aren't whatever real tourists or whatever, they're still real North Koreans. I'm sure about that. The North Korean government is believed to have determined that it would face some negative consequences when it opens the site to foreigners, said Oh Yong-sub, an analyst at Seoul, Korea's Institute for National Unification. Oh said the ban would include Russians, but the North Korean-focused NK news website, citing tour groups specializing in North Korea trips, said Russians won't likely be targeted. It's such an interesting decision. So they face criticism that the tourists there appear to not be real tourists. So their counter to that criticism is, well, we'll just not let anybody see them then. You don't think they're real tourists, you're not allowed to see them. I would just let people come and figure it out for themselves. Unless they're trying to say because they don't want anyone to see them that they are not real tourists, right? They're basically revealing their hand and saying, you're right, guys, you caught us red-handed. They're not real tourists. I don't know. I think if they're trying to prove that they are real tourists, they should just keep letting people come in. I don't know. Whatever. But
if you got nothing to hide, stop, you know, open the freaking, you know.
Hiding your tourists, not your tourists. But Oh Gyung-soo probably knows more about this than me because he's studying national unification. So, according to him, it's just because they're not going to ban Russians. They're just going to ban anybody else. That they were thinking Chinese, but the Chinese people aren't allowed in either. Anis Lee Song-kun of Seoul Institute for National Security Strategy said the ban could be associated with difficulties in recruiting Russian tourists because many would consider North Korea too far away and the trip too expensive. North Korea is like, I guess China's in the way. China's pretty big. Fair enough. North Korea is pretty far away from Russia. China's in the way.
Far enough.
Yeah, it's far enough.
Yeah,
China's pretty big.
China's their access to the China's North Korea's access to the outside world.
Yeah. Unless you're going through the sea, I guess. You go all the way around through the Japanese Sea, as they call it.
Probably mine the coast.
Yeah. Experts say North Korea must open the Wonsan Kalma Zone, the country's biggest tourist complex, to Russian and Chinese tourists, given what was likely a huge construction and operational expenditure from the country's tight budget. If foreign tourists aren't allowed to the site, no Russian rubles, Chinese yuans, and dollars won't come in. Then North Korea can't break even and has to shut down the resort. An Chan-il, head of the World Institute for North Korean Studies think tank in Seoul, said. Kim has said the site would be one of the greatest successes this year, and the proudest first step in tourism development. North Korea's state media reports that Wonsan Kalma site has been crowded with tourists. The first group of 15 Russian tourists arrived in resort in July 11th after visiting Pyongyang, the North Korean capital. NK News reported earlier this week. It was magnificent. Everything is new, clean, and stunning, a Russian tourist, Nina Srevida, said in a report. North Korea has been slowly easing the curb imposing during the COVID-19 pandemic and reopening its borders in phases. Wow. But the country hasn't said if it would fully resume international tourism. Chinese group tours, which made up more than 90% of the visitors before the pandemic, remained stalled. In February, North Korea allowed a small group of international tourists to visit the northeastern city of Rason, only to stop the program in less than a month. What is going on there? I'm personally a fan of tourism in North Korea because I believe in the idea of cultural trading and synthesis. The more different cultures you experience, the more you realize, hey, wait a minute, we don't have to live like this. We can have different experiences in life. And maybe, like China, right? China used to be very, very totalitarian. And now look at them. They're basically a capitalist country. With very, very small communist
they're
ideals.
Capitalists where the government controls every aspect of your income, but they are capitalist.
They're making tons of cash on the global economy, and
however,
there's definitely Chinese people who are able to visit and leave and that kind of stuff, and there's also people who are able to visit and live in China. I know there's plenty of American YouTubers I've seen who go there and live there for a while, and they say, yeah, China is just a place like everywhere else. I know. Me, a globalist, telling you, guess what? Those people in that country just are humans, just like you. Surprise!
And if they had the same process as we had, they would be exactly the same. All you gotta do is go to the United States and look at the Chinese population in the United States. Yeah. They're just Americans. How about that? Wow, how about that? Hey.
Give me a mixed metaphor.
So I guess mixed metaphor, North Korea is like that neighbor who's constantly got a fumigation tent over their house. And they've had it there for like 70 years.
Yeah.
And they're not actually killing the bugs. They're just reprogramming to not think that they're bugs anymore. So yeah, there's your metaphor, our mixed metaphor. Totally invented that.
It was a metaphor for sure. That's for something.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell's going on in the neighbor's house for 70 years? They got that fumigation tent up. They killed all them bugs yet.
And one time they had a housewarming party you were able to go to right after they killed all the bugs, and then they closed up again.
I think Walter White is cooking meth over there. I think that's really happening.
There you go. There's your laughter. Your laugh track.
Walt and Jesse cooking the blue crystal for everybody.
I'm rolling the segue.
We're going to go to...
And we're going to tell a joke about your next two stories.
Oh, this is kind of humorous. Actually, both of them are kind of humorous. Unless you're on this plane. The first one is from viewfromthewing.com. Its next pilot writes this vlog, or what do you call it? Gary Leff Delta pilot arrested just before takeoff for failing breathalyzer. Every passenger now owes $705 cash.
Cash money.
Now they're going to take...
Let it rain down.
That's right. Every Delta passenger on board Delta Flight 205 from Stockholm to New York JFK today. Oh, it was a Swedish. It happened in Sweden. Is entitled to $705 or 600 euros in cash. Oh, wow. That'll buy
that's
2
why
or
they're
3
getting paid
tuna
out,
sandwiches
because
at the
it's
airport.
a European regulation. In America, you would not get paid.
You stepped on my joke.
Oh, sorry. You can say it again.
I said 600 euros. That'll buy 2 or 3 tuna sandwiches.
In Sweden.
No, Sweden. At any airport. That doesn't matter what airport you're at.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you are. That's true.
One of the pilots was arrested. Now say what you're going to say. I'm sorry, I stepped on what you were saying.
I just said that's probably because if they're a Swedish airline, it was a European regulation. In America, right, they would just be like, tough luck.
Oh.
Tough luck, not my problem.
Well, maybe they don't give you And there's a blurb. A police operation took place at Arlanda Airport on Tuesday morning. At 9:15, a pilot was arrested by police during a check on board an aircraft. According to police, the plane was about to take off from Arlanda when the arrest took place. Was it suspicious? I don't think they're doing this routinely.
Like what, he was tripping over himself?
That guy's passing out.
That guy looks drunk. Let's check him.
With 198 seats on board, that's $139,590 that Delta is obligated to pay out to passengers under European Union Rule EU261, given the length of delayed arrival and the distance of the flight, and that doesn't include the cost of lodging and meals. Yes,
European regulations win again, bitches.
You're right. Yeah, and they had to go find another pilot, right? You got to take off with one pilot. You got to need 2. And that doesn't include the cost of lodging and meals. So they had to put up all these 198 people in hotels, pay for their meals. Delta taking a big hit, and the European
shame our taxes are so high here in Europe. Wow, what a shame.
Well, you want safe travel. Oh yeah, everybody's complaining. Taxes are taxes, man. If you complain about taxes, you're just doing the rich people a favor. I just wanted you to know that. Every time you complain about taxes, they go, "Yeah, we're gonna cut taxes," and they run in and cut taxes, but not your taxes. So keep complaining. That's never going to work. The European Union Aviation Safety Agency makes random school testing for flight and cabin crew operating out of the EU member states under Regulation 2018/1042. Wow, that's a cool name for a regulation. In the fall, 2 Delta flight attendants working the same Amsterdam departure were arrested after failing a breathalyzer. Flight attendants can't even have a frickin' a pop here and there. That's kind of sad. They're not flying the plane. Actually, the pilot isn't flying the plane either. He's going night all the way across the Atlantic. So he's not going to be awake. One of them might be awake, but the other one won't be. Pilot drinking, though, is a challenge all airlines have to grapple with, and regulators. There was a Delta flight canceled when the captain was arrested for intoxication in 2023. This happens infrequently, but isn't unheard of. Earlier this year, a Southwest pilot was arrested for smelling of booze at security before a flight. They show a picture of a pilot with a thumbs up and a big smile. It's kind of funny. Last year, a Japan Airlines pilot had a big night out in Dallas when he drank with other crew members starting around 6 p.m. Oh, that'll happen in Dallas. I told you, Dallas Airport's surrounded by strip clubs, right? Continued drinking at the huge...
asking for you to get in trouble, yeah.
All right. Continued drinking at the hotel lounge and later in his layover, complaining about noise. Police recalled at 2 a.m. In 2019, United pilots flying out of Glasgow to Newark were arrested on intoxication charges. A fully boarded Delta flight from Minneapolis was canceled due to intoxicated pilot. Of course, United flight from London, of course it says, we're all supposed to remember this. United flight from London was also once delayed to remove drunk air marshal. The the drunk air marshal. People aren't even supposed to know you're an air marshal, right? In the U.S., commercial airline pilots have to go at least 8 hours from their last drink prior to flying. It's called the 8 hours bottle to throttle. That cool name. And their blood alcohol limit is 0.04. A JetBlue pilot was arrested at 22 for blowing a 0.17. Hey, he needed the money. The only thing you're prepared for
telling your jokes.
0.17. Hey. Sorry. The only thing you're prepared to drive at 0.17 is a porcelain bus. That's funny. That is another name for a toilet, by the way.
Okay.
JetBlue's priority, of course, is safety. The pilot's priority may have been getting so tanked he thought he was Gary Busey trying to explain who killed Bruce Lee. Once, though, a pilot drank 17 rum and cokes before actually flying from Fargo to Minneapolis. He fell on the floor before leaving the bar, while 2 other crew members shared 7 pitchers of beer. They were just playing that game. 100 pitchers of beer on the wall, 100 pitchers of beer. Take one down and pass it around. Where are we? Where are we flying to again? Anyway.
I'm flying right now.
Drinking pilots is a very sensitive subject. American Airlines was even forced to apologize when their outsourced in-flight magazine depicted pilots mixing cocktails. You can't even show a picture of a pilot having a drink. Oh my God, they're human. Don't be human. Stop it. Stop being human.
You must be a robot and fly me to my destination.
Yeah. We want our pilots to be superheroes. We decided a long time ago that pilots are some kind of special people. But having worked with 1,000 pilots in my life, they're kind of not too bright. They can fly planes and play golf. That's your typical pilot. Fly a plane, play golf. Fly a plane, play golf. Those are the 2 things they do.
Also, most pilots, because I had a friend who wanted to be a pilot, and most pilots have to be from the military. It's just unfortunately a fact of life. The easiest way to get your pilot license to fly commercially is to already have one from the military. You can't just go to school. It's like $300K or something a year to go to learn how to be a commercial pilot. It's very expensive, yeah.
Right. So. And all you got to go all you got to do is be go through boot camp in the Air Force, I'd do the Air Force because the Navy is harder, probably. Oh, it's longer for sure. You don't want to be a Marine pilot. If you're joining the Marine Corps to be a pilot, you're like, woohoo. It's like, go be a pilot somewhere else. Jesus, the Marines are, ground people. We're for, I don't know. I don't even know why the Marine Corps has an Air Force, but whatever. Off the subject. Air travel can be a difficult career. Again, this is written by a pilot, so he's going to understand what he's talking about. He knows everything about what he's talking about, a retired pilot. Air travel can be a difficult career, and drinking and other substance problems get hidden. Pilots and substance abuse problems are often wary of speaking up and seeking help for fear of being sidelined, despite programs designed to encourage them to do so. Yeah, who really trusts their employer to keep that shit confidential? I don't.
Why am I getting less and less flights on my schedule? Oh, it's because we found out you have a drinking problem. Right. Oh, great, thanks. Now I have no money too.
Yeah. They think they got to rule over your private life too, which makes sense if you're a pilot. But if you're not actually a drunk, then it's not really a problem, is it? Pilots hide not just alcohol abuse, but mental health conditions, and that points a fundamental conundrum. You want pilots to open and seek help in order to promote safety. Once they are open, they are clearly identified as a risk and get removed from the cockpit. So the consequences of being open discourage that openness. At least that fear many pilots have, not trusting the commitments that are in place to help rather than punish. All right, there's your story. There was a story a couple of weeks ago about the pilot who took shrooms and hadn't quite come down from the trip yet. He was tripping up in the air. Tripping balls. Hey, the pilot's tripping balls. I feel safe. Okay.
Wow, he's trying to collect all the coins like in Mario Racing or something.
Yeah, crashing in the clouds like it's a frick Pokemon competition or something.
I have a joke for you about a drunk pilot, but it's very long, so get ready for this. Two guys were sitting in a bar getting really drunk. After a while, just drinking gets boring. So the first guy looks at the second guy and says, "Hey, Want to go up for a ride in my airplane? The second guy says, wow, you have an airplane? Let's go! So they get some beer and they go for a tour around the city in the plane. Eventually, they get bored with this too, so they decide to land. The drunk pilot starts circling around looking for a place to land, and he sees an airstrip close by. He says to his new buddy along for the ride, let's land here. I think it looks like a good place as any. So he circles around and goes in for a landing. But at the last minute, he swerves and pulls back. Damn, he says, that is the shortest runway I have ever seen. How in hell is anyone supposed to land on it? But since it's the only runway nearby, he decides to try again, with the same result. Getting pretty irritated, the pilot says to his friend, all right, I'm going to try one more time, and if I can't land, we're just going to crash and hope we don't die. So they end up crashing, and miraculously, neither is hurt. When they crawl out of the wreckage, the first guy is still swearing and gesticulating wildly at the runway. I'm going to find whoever designed this crazy runway and wring his neck. He must be a total moron. No one can land on anything that short. The second guy looks around and says, yeah, but look how wide it is. I told you it was a long one, but it's a joke about drunk pilots.
All right.
At first when I was reading, I was like, how is this going to be funny? And then, of course, as all jokes go, the end line is where they get you.
Look how wide it is. Like that.
Yeah, you can do a better drunk voice than me. I've never been drunk.
All you got to do, you want to know how you sound drunk? Here's a little trick. Go play back one of your videos at 75% speed. You will sound drunk. That's what drunk is. Exactly, yeah. If you want to make anybody sound drunk,
just play it slow.
Speed.
Yeah.
Not too slow because it gets too ponderous. Other news, other weird news. We have the Indian police arrested suspected
somebody
scammers.
Just sent a message in chat. So what y'all like, father and daughter? Yes, this is my dad. I'm his daughter. This is a father-daughter podcast. Thank you. Okay, your next story.
Yes, and we're in two different countries. Different countries at the same time, doing the news globally about the globe. Anyway, so I said anyway again. I'm gonna strike that from my.
You need to stop saying it. So you stop.
Indian
saying
police
it,
arrest. Yeah. I gotta stop. I'm gonna put myself on a limit. AP News. Rajesh Roy is the author. Indian police arrest a suspected scammer running a fake embassy near New Delhi because the old Delhi was getting too old. Indian police have arrested a man accused of running a bogus embassy from a rented residential building near the capital and recovered cars with fake diplomatic plates. The suspect impersonated an ambassador and allegedly duped people for money by promising overseas employment, and said a senior police official Sushil Gule of Uttar Pradesh State Special Task Force in northern India. According to police, Harshvardhan Jain, 47, claimed to have acted as an advisor or ambassador to entities such as Surborga or West Arctica. West Arctica. He just made some names. Yeah, I'm the ambassador from Surborga. West Arctica. You ever been to West Arctica? It's right there near Antarctica. Yeah. My aunt lives in Antarctica. Police recovered multiple doctored photographs showing Jain with world leaders and fake seals of India's foreign ministry in nearly 36 countries, Gruel said. His name is, I'm saying Ghoul, G-H-U, Ghoulie? I'll say Ghoulie. Jain was also suspected of illegal money laundering through shell companies abroad, he said. He's also facing charges of forgery, impersonation, and possessing fake documents. Police recovered 4 cars bearing fake diplomatic plates and nearly $4.5 million Indian rupees, which calculates to $52,095. 45. He's a millionaire. No, he's only got $50,000. And other foreign currencies and cash from Jain's rented premises, which were adorned with international flags of several nations. Shane and his lawyer couldn't be immediately reached for comment. My comment is, hey, I was just having a little fun. And he only made...
How much?
He only had $52,000 later on. $52,000.
Well, if I had that
4.5 rupees.
Yeah. That's probably more in India.
Well, it's 4.5 million rupees in India.
Yeah. So, a lot.
That's the only place that takes rupees. So, yeah. So, if you got $50,000, shit, not even that much, 1/4 of that. What's 1/4 of that? Is if you've got $12,000, you're a millionaire in India. There's your story.
Okay, I found a joke. It's not really about it's about diplomats, because that's the only thing I could think of that's related to like an embassy or something like that. So here it is. At a diplomat's dinner, a waiter tripped and shattered the beautiful plate in which he was carrying a large turkey. Hushed silence turned into a roar of laughter when the quick-witted diplomat announced, "Gentlemen, you have just witnessed 4 major international events happening. The fall of Turkey, a breakup of China, spillage of Greece, and the frustration of Hungary." So there you go.
Oh, what a diplomat!
Way simpler joke and not as long as the other one.
Yeah. All of them in China are kind of, except for China, which ain't that far away, they're kind of in the same place, kind of the same general region.
It's nearby. China's nearby. It's over there.
Yeah, it's a large landmass. It's near a lot of things. Okay, do the segue for me, I guess.
Segue wheel is spinning. Spin, wheel, spin.
By the way, I did send you a video.
Okay.
Related to your bus accident. You can edit it. You start it towards the beginning somewhere, but you can chop it off at any time because it's 12 minutes long.
Oh, okay. Your segue is sarcasm. So I'm sure you can figure out a way to be sarcastic about this story, because we're talking about Ozzy Osbourne in my culture segment here, which everyone's probably heard about already. He's a very famous rock, heavy metal star. Everyone knows this guy. And if you haven't heard of him,
probably the best voice in heavy metal music, even including Robert Plant, because Robert Plant's kind of derivative. I think Ozzy had his own style. Anyway, go ahead.
Continue. Yeah, I mean, I think even if you're like Gen Alpha, you've probably heard like Iron Man, dun, 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 which is from Black Sabbath, his original band that he sang.
Iron Man. If you've seen the movie Iron Man, that's played at the end.
Yeah, there you go. So you've probably heard of this guy. And we're going to talk about what actually happened, because his death is actually something we've talked about a lot on the show. But we'll get into that. First, let's read the article here on The Guardian by Ben Bermo Thomas. Ozzy Osbourne, whose gleeful Prince of Darkness image... Oh, sorry, you're on screen, not me. Ozzy Osbourne, whose gleeful Prince of Darkness image made him one of the most iconic rock frontmen of all time, has died aged 76. A statement from the Osbourne family reads, "It is with more sadness than mere words can convey that we have to report that our beloved Ozzy Osbourne has passed away this morning. He was with his family and surrounded by love. We ask everyone to respect our family privacy at this time." No cause of death was given, though Osbourne had experienced various ill health in recent years. Osbourne was one of the most notorious figures in rock, an innovator whose eerie wail helped usher in heavy metal, a showman who once bit the head off a bat on stage, an addict whose substance abuse led him to attempt to murder his wife, and laterally a reality TV star much loved for his bemusement of family life on The Osbournes. His death comes less than a week after his retirement from performance. On July 5th, Osbourne reunited with his original bandmates in the pioneering group Black Sabbath for the first time since 2005, for Back to the Beginning, an all-star farewell concert featuring some of the biggest names in metal. "I've been laid up for 6 years, and you've got no idea how I feel," he told the crowd that night, referring to the extensive health issues, including a form of Parkinson's and numerous surgeries on his spine. "Thank you from the bottom of my heart." He was born John Michael Osbourne in Aston, Birmingham, in 1948. You're right, he's from Birmingham. You Before the show started, we're like, he's from Birmingham, right?
I know my Black Sabbath history.
He was born in 1948, the son of a pair of factory workers. Well, it was Birmingham after all. He had a tough upbringing. As well as living in relative poverty, age 11, he was repeatedly sexually abused by 2 boys. It was terrible. It seemed to go on forever, he told the Mirror in 2003. He was also jailed for burglary. I was not good at that. Fucking useless, he admitted in 2014. He was not good at stealing things. This industrial working class environment fed into a sound of Osbourne's defining musical project, Black Sabbath, whose heavy sound revolutionized British rock music. We wanted to put how we thought about the world at the time, the band's bassist Geezer Butler said in 2017. We didn't want to write happy pop songs. We gave that industrial feeling to it. Named after a Boris Karloff horror movie, the band, also featuring Tony Iommi on guitar and Bill Ward on drums, released their self-titled debut in 1970, followed by further albums regarded as foundation stones of the heavy metal genre. Paranoid, 1970, featured the stuttering anthems Iron Man and War Pigs, and topped the UK album chart, while the cacophonous psychedelic sound of Master of Reality, 71, remained a huge influence on the slower sound of doom metal. Osbourne recorded a further 5 acclaimed albums with the group, but became so dependent on alcohol and drugs that he was fired in 1979 and replaced by Ronnie James Dio. Osbourne eventually returned to the band for the 2013 album 13, which topped the charts on the US and UK. Black Sabbath also went on tour, playing what was billed as their final concert in Birmingham on February 2017, prior to their 2025 reunion gig. Osbourne went on a solo shortly after leaving Black Sabbath, and beginning with 1980's Blizzard of Oz, which went 5 times platinum in the US, released 13 studio albums, the most recent being 22's Patient Number 9. The most notorious incident involving Osbourne happened in 82, when he bit off the head of a dead bat he believed to be a stage prop while performing in Des Moines, Iowa. He later went to hospital to receive a precautionary rabies inoculation. He also claimed that this was corroborated by one of his one-time publicists, Mike Wall, to have bitten the heads off 2 doves during a 81 record label meeting that went sour, having originally intended to release the birds as a sign of peace. In the 80s and 90s, he had occasional UK top 40 hits, including Bark at the Moon and Perry Manson, 83 and 95. He eventually hit number 1 in 2003 with Changes, a duet with his daughter Kelly, 40. Osbourne has 2 other children, his wife Sharon, Jack 39 and Amy 41, and 2 with his first wife, Thelma, Jessica and Lewis. His marriage to Thelma had deteriorated because of, surprise, his alcoholism. He later admitted he couldn't remember Jessica and Louis being born. In 82, he married Sharon, who had begun managing a solo career after the pair met 3 years earlier. Her business acumen, paired with his enduring popularity, helped them accrue huge wealth. Ozfest, the metal music festival founded by Sharon in 96, toured the US most years and also had outings in the UK and Japan. You went to Ozfest, saw System of a Down, I remember.
Oh yeah,
you went.
I saw Ozzy at Ozfest.
Of course, he was there too.
His guitar player Zach Wilde has his own band, so Zach Wilde was playing on one of the stages while the main stage was playing, and Ozzy came out and sang. What the hell did he sing? I want to say he sang "Mama, I'm Coming Home" or one of his songs. But I'm not exactly. I don't remember what he said.
Home.
I couldn't actually see him because it was out there on the the fairgrounds area where there's no seats.
Oh,
so if
right.
you wanted to see the stage, you had to get in. And all these girls on people's shoulders are blocking the stage.
Yeah.
So you couldn't even see the
Likes to be short.
And it was Ozzy. Anyway, sorry.
That's fine. I asked you about it, so you can talk about it. You don't have to apologize. Of course, my favorite Ozzy Osbourne song, I believe, is No More Tears. Like a 7-minute opera.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's so long, and it's such a good song, though, you don't even know it's that long. You're just like, yeah, just keep going. Just keep singing.
Ozzy's original guitar player, of course, Randy Rhoads, was killed in screwing around an airplane and almost killed everybody in the band, too, because buzzed the motorhome they were sleeping in.
Oh, right. Yeah, we talked about this on our top 13 list of people who got into plane accidents and died. Specifically musicians, I think.
The
musicians
fact
who
that
died.
Ozzy lived to be 76.
Yeah.
The fact that Ozzy lived to be 76 is a testament around him more than because he was in a self-destructive path forever. Like, I don't think he ever stopped it. And just the people around him are like, hey, you got to keep it together, man. But
well, speaking of
rest
that,
in peace, Ozzy.
We'll talk about it.
The sarcasm.
Well, yeah, we weren't done yet. Rest in peace. You're being sarcastic.
Oh, okay.
In 1989, he was arrested for attempting to murder Sharon by strangling her while drunk. He recounted the incident in a 2007 interview. I woke up in this little single cell with a human shit up the walls, and I thought, what the fuck have I done now? A police officer read me my piece of paper and said, you're charged with attempting to murder Miss Sharon Osbourne. I can't tell you how I felt. I just went numb. The couple later reconciled, though briefly split again in 2016 after Ozzy was unfaithful with a hairstylist. Ozzy and Sharon, along with Kelly and Jack, appeared in the reality TV series The Osbournes from 2002 to 2005, a fly-on-the-wall documentary series that followed the family's domestic life, complete with dog therapists, vagina doctors, and an endless stream of imaginative bad language from everyone. It became a ratings hit, and in 2002, the second ever winner of an Emmy Award for Astounding Reality Program. Ozzy broke his neck, collarbone, and ribs in a quad biking accident at his Buckinghamshire home in 2003. Sharon later said he had stopped breathing for a minute and a half. There was no pulse. He was also told he was almost paralyzed by the accident. In 2005, he was diagnosed with Parkinson's syndrome, which causes bodily tremors. In 2013, following years of sobriety, he admitted he had been drinking and taking drugs for a year and a half, but was committed to becoming sober again, saying, I was in a very dark place, and I was an asshole to people I love most, my family. In 2019, Osbourne performed what was billed as his final world tour, entitled No More Tours. Now, the echo wasn't in there. Number 2, by the way. No More Tours, number 2. His first announced his retirement in 92 with the No More Tours number 1, but later reversed his decision. Illness forced him to postpone the European dates in 2020. It just seems that since October, everything I touch has turned to shit, he said in an apologetic statement. He also spent time in a hospital to receive treatment for an infection in his hand. In 2020, he announced he had been diagnosed with Parkinson, and 2022 had surgeons on his spines, having suffered a fall in 2019 that exacerbated the earlier quad bike injuries. In 2023, he cancelled the UK and Europe tour due to being physically weak, describing 3 operations and stem cell treatments, endless physical therapy sessions, and most recently groundbreaking cybernetics HAL or HAL treatment. Osbourne became depressed and amid the extensive treatment, as he described in May 2025 interview with The Guardian. You wake up the next morning and find that something else has gone wrong. You begin to think, this is never going to end, he said. Sharon could see that I was in doomed town, and she says to me, I've got an idea. There's something to give me a reason to get up in the morning. This was the Back to the Beginning concert held at Villa Park in Birmingham, which saw Osbourne reunite with Butler, Iommi, and Ward for a 4-song set after a 5-song solo set. Osbourne performed seated in a bat-adorned throne, but put in his spirited performance, telling the audience at one point, I am Iron Man, go fucking crazy. The concert also featured performances from legends including Metallica, Slayer, and Guns N' Roses. Slayer! Another band that has a dead member in it.
Thrash metal.
Elton John was among those paying tribute to Osbourne, writing, he was a dear friend and a huge trailblazer who secured his place in the pantheon of rock gods. A true legend. He was also one of the funniest people I've ever met. I will miss him dearly. So there is our documentary obituary to Ozzy. And what I wanted to talk about is the rumors that they went to Switzerland and they did the assisted suicide in Switzerland. Because, sounding from what his last interview said, right? He was like, I'm literally being turned into a robot here. I'm being stitched up like Frankenstein, you know? And
right,
Parkinson's
like Iron
is a pretty tough disease to go through for a lot of people. You start not being able to control your hands and your muscles, and there has been some work into stopping the shakes. But at 76, right, I think he was just like, I'm done.
Stem cells are probably the answer at some point, but who knows?
But getting stem cells is very, very painful. You have to get a huge needle and jam it into your spine. Not fun.
Yeah, it's experimental too.
Yeah. There we go. Rest in peace, or I guess rest in hell. Okay. May you forever reign in hell.
If you want to imitate, if you ever want to imitate Ozzy Osbourne, just do the Iron Man, right? Just if you see a fan of any time, just walk into the fan, just speak into the fan in your deepest voice. Get that effect. Well, you want. I didn't.
I didn't hear the ending bit, but I heard the beginning bit. The beginning bit was in there, yeah.
I am Iron Man. I've been doing that. I've been doing that ever since I've had a job with a giant fan at. It's better with giant fans. They can just walk up to.
For sure.
My sarcasm again. Everybody's saddened by Ozzy. But strangely, I went outside yesterday and this pair of nesting doves outside were having a party. I don't know what that was.
They were celebrating. Vengeance for Tom and Jerry, who were eaten in 86.
You bit your head off my cousin. All right.
Or remember the grandfather or something at that point. It's 86.
I won't make light of Ozzy's death, but I'm sure he would appreciate that joke himself. So that's why I tell him.
Now it's time for this day in history. Yeah.
Yes. And, all right, July 23rd, in the midst of time.
Let me roll a segue first. I'm rolling the segue.
A lot of crap happened to this day. Holy crap. Terrible day.
Better start reading now. Metaphor or simile.
Okay. All right. Well, this is interesting stories anyway. Okay, so we're going to go all the way back to 1844, which ain't that bad. Ain't that far. Attilio and Emilio Bandiero executed along with 9 others following a failed revolt against the Austrian rule in Italy. On this day did not know Australians were ruling Italy. Apparently they were. This guy didn't like it, or him and his brother didn't like it, and they were executed for being, not wanting to be occupied. 1885, General Ulysses S. Grant died at the age of 63, quite young. He commanded the Union armies, the victory in the American Civil War, and later served 2 terms as President of the United States. So, didn't live a whole lot longer after that. He had throat cancer. He's also broke. He wrote his autobiography. It's been his declining years writing his autobiography, which is one of those autobiographies you should read if you give a shit about history, and if you want to know about the Civil War from the inside. Great autobiography. He wrote just to pay off his debts, and then he died penniless, basically, which I consider good timing. Right? You die penniless. That's good timing, right? I got no money. Hi, that's in. You don't know money. You have no money when you're dead. Absolutely.
100%. Yeah.
He died penniless. I'm like, what's the problem? What's he going to do with pennies in his grave? He put them over his eye? 1903, Ford Motor Company sold its first automobile, a Ford Model A. 5 years later, it introduced the hugely influential Model T. So B through S were complete failures. BS, I just made a joke. Anyway, Model B and Model S, get it? They had to go all the way to Model T. I'm entertaining myself. 1945, Marshal Philippe Pétain of France went on a trial for treason during World War II. He ultimately was given a life sentence of solitary confinement. There you are. You get to be alone. There's your punishment. Shit, I like being alone.
It's pretty nice. Solitary confinement is considered torture, so it's not as fun as it sounds.
Give me a deck of cards. I'll be fine. Hell, I'll make a deck of cards. 1967, a riot began in Detroit as African Americans' city's police department were involved in violent confrontations following a police raid on an illegal drinking club. The unrest, which lasted for 5 days, is considered one of the catalysts of the militant Black Power movement. Okay, maybe. I'll take your word for it, Britannica. I was only 5 then. Actually, only 4. 1970, Sultan Syed bin Taimur of Oman was overthrown by his son, Qaboos bin Sayed, in a palace coup. At the palace coup. Palace coup. It was a day for coups today because there's one in Egypt too. 1997, Slobodan Milosevic became president of the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, comprising Serbia and Montenegro. After serving as president of Serbia from 1989, he was later charged with genocide, crimes against humanity, and war crimes related to the Kosovo conflict, and he died during his trial in 2006.
Ooh.
Big long blurb about him, huh? 1999, with the launch of NASA's orbiter Columbia, U.S. astronaut Eileen became the first woman to command a space shuttle mission. Yay! British singer, sad day and today is Amy Winehouse joined the 27 Club on this day in 2011. British singer-songwriter Amy Winehouse won 5 Grammy Awards for a Motown-inspired Back to Black. With substance abuse problems, died from alcohol poisoning at the age of 27.
Another victim of the most legal addictive substance in our society.
Yeah, just keep pounding alcohol. Obviously, a very troubled woman. 2012, U.S. astronaut Sally Ride, the first American woman to travel in space, died at the age of 61. Probably got cancer for being in space. I'm going to just go up in the limb and say. So, the same day the first woman launched in 1999, the anniversary of that, 13 years later, Sally Ride passed away. A coincidence. July 23rd is also a featured event. Egyptian monarchy toppled by coup. On this day, the Free Officers, a nationalistic military group led by Colonel Gamal Abdel Nasser, I've heard of him, engineered a coup that overthrew King Farouk I of Egypt, ending the monarchy and bringing Nasser to power. So screw monarchies, but again, screw dictatorships too. July 23rd, 1892 is the birthday of Haile Selassie, who is the president of Egypt, the emperor of Ethiopia, president of Egypt. I'm reading this article next to it. The emperor of Ethiopia, considered a god on earth by Rastafarians like Bob Marley back here. That's right. Haile Selassie was considered a deity by Rastafarians. He died on August 27th, 1975 in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Addis Ababa. I can never say that word. All right, so there's my bad pronunciations.
Ethiopian
and other
classes,
things for today. Happy birthday to Haile Selassie, 1892, in case I didn't say it the first time. Also, the birthday of Philip Seymour Hoffman, the late, great Philip Seymour Hoffman, another guy with drug problems.
Oh, born in camera froze.
1967. Get it? What about now?
Am I disconnecting?
Am I still there? I'm disconnecting. Haile Selassie's birthday today. Why is it laughing? Okay. Am I still disconnected?
All right. Now you're back. Okay. Sorry.
I'm back. All right. And Alison Krauss's birthday. We did Philip Seymour Hoffman's birthday, 1967. He would be 58 today. But he OD'd. 1971, Alison Krauss' birthday. American musician, folk singer. I would say bluegrass even. 1973's Monica Lewinsky, American activist, public speaker, and writer. Not famous for any of those things, but that's who she is now.
Famous for publicly being known as a sexual assault victim and then being bullied for being a sexual assault victim. Yeah.
Right. She's basically doing whatever she wanted to do. Nobody forced her to do it, by the way.
Well, there's definitely coercion in a relationship when you're the president of the United States.
Yeah, right. There's always a power dynamic, but I'm just saying, nobody said you must do this or this. Yeah, that never happened, right? You know what I'm saying? It was just a personal favor. let's look at it that way. That, you got Bill Clinton in all kinds of trouble, but no, the same people that were hated Bill Clinton have no trouble with the current guy. Go figure. I don't know. Must be politics. They must be completely full of shit. They never cared in the first place. Anyway, next actor who's born, Daniel Radcliffe, who played Harry, born in 1989, is Harry Potter is now 36. Harry Potter's 36. And what does that make you in Wizards? I don't know what that makes you.
The same
National
age.
Day calendar is
the same age in Wizards.
Same age as all other 36-year-old wizards. I thought they live forever. Don't they live a long time?
No, you're thinking of elves.
Oh, okay. Hey, I didn't make up this fake universe. What's her name did? National Lemon Day today. National Gorgeous Grandma Day. So I don't have a grandma. I've never had a grandma. So I don't know what to say about that. So yeah, she did.
You've never met your grandma.
Talking about you had your grandmother. Oh yeah, I never met them. Right. I never met either one of my grandmas. They're both gone before I was born. I did have step grandmas, which to me, even as a kid, is like, what happened to my real grandma? And it's National Vanilla Ice Cream Day, which I do have some vanilla ice cream, so I might just eat that again. Only 3 things today. Those are your mispronunciations, your weird stories, your technical glitches, everything. Your bus accidents for July 23rd, 2025 on before lemons and vanilla ice cream.
Lemons and vanilla ice cream. Of course.
Right on.
Everyone loves a vanilla ice cream. I've never had lemons in my vanilla ice cream, but it's probably a lot like putting lemon in your yogurt. A little curdled, but sour and delicious. And there's your metaphor, or there's your simile.
Simile. I fell asleep.
Sour and delicious.
Again. I don't know, the soundboard didn't seem to be working yesterday either. But.
I don't know how to get it to work because it's definitely noise canceling it for some reason. Yeah. Just not loud enough, I think.
Okay.
I can't make it any louder. Okay. Are there international days today? No, there are not. I sent you a link of the edited mic drop moment. Well, let me know when you have that loaded in. This has been Allison here from the Netherlands, Roger from the East Coast of the U.S. as we tie off another Wacky and Weird Wednesday. I hope you've learned a lot about Uranus and how leaky and gassy it is. And also, don't sit on the top deck of a double-decker bus, I guess, in Manchester, because they're going to drive you into a bridge. Not just another thing to be scared of in the world, I guess.
Well, you don't like air conditioning? Well, that's Monty Python's kid.
And we, of course, will see you tomorrow for our Thursday's 13 episode. Roger is going to set up a list for us. He's going to read us out a list of 13 things, and we're going to argue or say, hey, you missed one. So make sure you're following or subscribed to Ali and Raj. Turn on those notifications so you know we go live and post a video so you won't miss our list. And also you can rewatch this later after I edit this episode if you missed anything in the show.
Yeah.
And don't forget to like the video, comment down below what your favorite Ozzy Osbourne song is. Which one, the first one you ever heard or the one that you can always think of. And
I tell you, the first Ozzy song I know, I tell you what it is. It's the very first song in the very first Black Sabbath album. It's the first Ozzy.
He was there when it was
Black
born.
Sabbath.
Yeah. The intro song.
That legitimately the first album I ever owned was Black Sabbath's first album. So my sister Jeannie had some albums that did not have jackets in her house. Yeah. She goes, if you got those albums over there. There was 3 albums over there. There was a Doors album. There was Jethro Tull Aqualung, which is a classic, and Black Sabbath's first album. Larry took Aqualung. I think Larry took 2 of them. I took the Black Sabbath. And just went home and played it right away. It's like... which is known as the devil's interval. People. So again, they were initiated, christened as a devil worshippers because they played the devil's interval music. So there you go. Okay, still processing the video, so we're gonna go back and
try reloading because it might be. Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know why it's processing it so long.
Probably my favorite off that album is probably either NIB or The Wizard. The Wizard's great because it starts with Ozzy. The Wizard starts with Ozzy on harmonica. Like that.
Yeah.
Like a train going through a station really fast with a horn on it, right? Yeah. Wizard! Play that.
Yeah, I wish I had heard more Black Sabbath, or I guess I still can. The music didn't go anywhere.
Yeah,
I'm sure everyone is listening to all the music now.
Go listen to Black Sabbath. Ken, heavy metal was not really a thing. It was drips and drabs, but this was the first heavy metal album, right? All heavy metal, almost all of them in the devil's interval. Okay, let's try that video again. Overly complicating life.
It's done for me.
It says stuck. Oh no, that's the name of the video.
Yeah, I just called it stuck. I don't need to make a fancy title for it because I'm just gonna delete it after today.
All right, the video finally loaded. Okay.
All right, then.
I hit pause.
We will see you guys. Right. Take care of yourselves. And here is our truck and bridge chicken moment. Who's gonna win, the truck or the bridge? I have some spoilers for you. It's the bridge every time.
I love it when it opens it like a sardine can, like the sardine cans.
Just peels the top right off.
There's one. Yeah.
I mean, that's what that thing up there is for. Actually, it's supposed to stop you from damaging the bridge, right? Because constantly jamming trucks into a bridge is going to destroy its integrity.
Right, and it's almost always rental trucks, you'll know that, right? It's like the poor bastard who just rented this truck had no idea how tall their truck was.
Yeah, they never do they?
Look at that shit. Wow.
They should put like a giant sticker on the front.
No, the RV!
Rest in peace, the air conditioner.
Yep. Oh, Ryder truck bites the dust. Didn't make it. Sucks when
this bridge is so famous.
Now, here comes every... Yeah.
This bridge is super famous for this problem.
I think it's in I want to say it's in North Carolina. I'm not even sure where it is. I just watch these videos.
Yeah, it doesn't say, does it?
The 11foot8.com. It's right there in the screen. If you want to watch these all day long, they don't stop coming, and there's always a new one. They even raised it.
Oh wow, that one is super in there.
Oh yeah, yeah. As soon as you hit the front, its wheels go off.
Another RV.
Oh,
another RV.
RV. Oh god.
Those are so much more expensive.
Buddy. I hope it's good insurance. Oh yeah. And that ruins your damn vacation too. You're on vacation, you just rip the roof off your RV. Well, okay.
At least that guy approached slowly, so he's like, oh, okay.
These are like 100 people getting their name wrong at once.
He forgot he left those two tubes up.
Yeah. Oh. Damn, he was going way too fast. I knew that was very special. He was going way too fast. If I just go faster, maybe I'll get through, right? Oh, boy. Yeah.
Oh, rest in peace, that.
Guilty pleasure, watching people ruin their entire week.
Oh, no. He's spilling something on the...
Look at how many... That's a railroad bridge, by the way. How many times do they weaken this thing when they hit it?
Wow, this one has a lead up. Oh, did it even make it to the bridge?
Somebody needs to go out there and lower the floor. Just turn that all up. Make a damn canyon under there. You can't raise the bridge because then you got to move the rails, right?
Yeah. Just don't go this way.
Right. If you got a truck and you see a low bridge,
I feel like you just make a lot of money off the fines at this point.
the fines. I mean, insurance companies are taking a hit, and all these stupid.
That's what I'm saying. You have to start finding people
and raise everybody else's rate. It just never stops, man. It just one after the other. You can do this. It's 12 minutes of this, right? 12 minutes.
Yeah.
So you cut it down to 3 something.
Yeah, I had to cut it. I wanted to end it on a bus, so I cut it down until I saw the bus, which is coming, I think, soon. It's like a great, yeah, here it is. This is the final one. The bus knocking off its air conditioning as well. Luckily enough, it wasn't a double-decker, so no injuries, maybe a little whiplash.
Nothing.
Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and notify buttons, and follow our other channels, Toxic Alley, History of Gravy, and Scratchy Old Records.